What I love most about Mi Gente is our community and how important it is to take care of our own.
Hey, it's Honey and Carolina. On our podcast, Life in Spanglish, we talk about how important being there for your loved ones is.
Pero también sobre lo importante que es tener a alguien dispuesto a apoyarte cuando lo necesites, como lo hace State Farm.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Aprende más en es.statefarm.com.
Earn points every time you order your faves on the McDonald's app. More points get you more of your faves for free on the McDonald's app. But now you're low-key obsessed with the McDonald's app. But a win's a win. Earn free food with the McDonald's app. At participating McDonald's.
Our area's most beautiful properties deserve the finest realtors. Meeks Realty Group. We focus on buying and selling residential and commercial properties throughout the tri-state area. Contact Meeks Realty Group online at meeks.us or call 304-440-1101.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Had a good Friday morning to you. Welcome to the show. 580 Live, a Dave Allen Show here on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS. Do the show from the Par Mar Store studio. If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon, including Par Mar's newest location. Just opened yesterday, 37620 Coal River Road in Whitesville in Boone County, West Virginia. Throughout the holiday season, stop by your local Par Mar, purchase a red stocking or a world's best chocolate bar with 100% of the proceeds going to the Children's Home Society of West Virginia. And again, if there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. And we're brought to you by the Thornhill Auto Group. Get ready to make the holidays bright this year in a brand new Ford with your name on it. Drive on down to the Thornhill Motor Mile. Slide into the driver's seat of a cutting-edge Ford SUV or new F-150. Click or come by ThornhillFord.net or on the Thornhill Motor Mile US 119 in Chapmanville. Biggly Piggly Wiggly Hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. The A-Train Anthony Hartman is our producer today. This is Friday Funhouse, our weekly trip away from the world of politics and most news, and time to focus on some sort of fun stuff. Maybe not so serious. Hannah Gardner standing by next with our Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association. Dr. Casey Sachs, herself a former guest host on Friday Funhouse, is here. Plus, we're going to get a visit from the Toastmaster, Rod Blackstone, talking about what's going on with the Salango Law Light the Night over at Go-Mart Ballpark. All that and more coming up, plus your calls and text are welcome. Of course, the big story of the news is last night, 3 of the 4 leading candidates for governor met up in Morgantown in a debate discussion, if you will, moderated by Hoppy Kurtzville. I'm not going to touch on it so much on this show, but I will next hour because I'm going to be on Talk Line with Hoppy talking about that next hour. My guest host this week, you know him, you love him, you watch him on WOWK TV 13 News, the super talented Pat Simon. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Dave, I am great. It's great to be here. It's a Friday morning. I cannot believe I'm on my 3rd cup of coffee right now, so I'm ready to go, pal. Ready to go.
We're going to get into talking to Pat Simon about your career, about what you got going on over WOWK TV 13. Plus, you get to do the always popular 10 questions.
That's what I heard. And I told you in the green room that every answer to those questions will be ice cream.
Every possible one will be ice cream. Well, that should be interesting. Let's go to our good friend Hannah Gardner from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association with this week's Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week. Hannah, good morning. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Hannah, Pat Simon, Hannah Gardner.
Hey, Hannah.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. That's kind of her signature. Hello.
I got it. Yeah. I'm all about that.
She's cool that way.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we have a picture posted, as we always do, for Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week. It's posted on Dave Allen Radio on Facebook and at Dave. Actually, it's on the Dave Allen Show on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. Our dog this week's name is Cash. So, Hannah, take it from there. Tell us all about Cash.
Yeah. Well, Cash, he is a goofy-looking guy. He's very, very cute, very, very playful. He's got a lot of energy. I mean, I couldn't really tell you what he is. I mean, he looks like he's got like boxer mixed in there, but I don't know what else he'd be mixed with. He's around 50 to 60 pounds, I think, maybe sitting at like 55 even, I think, is what it was. But he is fixed already, so he's ready to go home. He's got his vaccines. He's good to go on all of that. And he is microchipped, as are all the animals that come through our doors. But he came in actually as a surrender, I believe. Well, originally he came in as a stray, but he got adopted, but the landlord didn't allow them to have it, so they had to bring him back. So no fault of his own, but we do know from him being out and about that he is kind of an escape artist. He does like to get out and venture and have fun, so maybe a person with a good fence or a good backyard or something for him to run around and get all that energy out would be amazing for him.
He looks like a prankster, too, which I find this just so fun to see his picture, Hannah. And so it would take a certain type of owner, like you were mentioning, with Cash, because he looks like someone with a lot of energy, right?
Yep. He definitely has a lot of energy, and he prefers female dogs over male dogs, just in general. So if you do have a male dog, of course, we would recommend a meet and greet. You can bring your dog up to the shelter and do a meet and greet with Cash, or if you have female dogs, he definitely prefers female dogs. So he would love a good playmate, I'm sure. If it's a female, that's for sure. He's definitely got a lot of energy to run out, so it'd be a good idea.
Now, you guys are in the middle there at the shelter hand of something called the 25 Days of Dogmas. I was looking about that looking around on your Facebook page about that. What is that, and exactly how's it going?
So basically, they are just posting a dog every day and telling you a little bit about them, just to try to help get them adopted for the 25 days of Christmas. And it's just a Dogmas version, so that way everybody can learn a little bit more about each dog that we have, and it kind of puts a spotlight on the ones that maybe need a spotlight just because they're not getting much attention or something. And most of the posts on there will tell you about if they're dog friendly or people friendly or kids friendly or how much they weigh and stuff like that, kind of like how ads do on this show, but just in writing.
Well, it's great work that you guys are doing up there. Now, next Friday, the 15th, 1 week from today, there's something called I was, again, reading this. And by the way, whoever does your all's Facebook page, you just do a fantastic job with all your social media. There's something called the Tito's Vodka Jingle Brawl.
I'm in.
On the brawling part of the vodka
all
part,
of the above.
typical radio guy or typical media guy. As best I understand, the bars down in this part of the state, several of them are going to be facing off against bars in the northern part of the state. Now, our local bars, Sam's Uptown Cafe, Bar 101, the Blue Parrot, Whiskey Glasses, and Vinos. It's sort of a fundraiser for you guys up there, the Humane Association. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so I believe they did something like this last year, if I'm thinking right. I know they did somewhat of like a bar crawl. But basically, yeah, I believe most or some of the donations kind of help us out, as well as I think there's going to be like you can wear your Christmas sweaters. You can kind of just go around with everyone and go to all the different bars. And it's pretty much, I believe if you want, you can like volunteer to help out with it even. But I personally don't know too much about it, but it is on our Facebook, and it is supposed to be lots of fun. I know they did something similar to it last year, so it'll be very, very fun.
Hats off to those local bars in this part of the state and the ones up north for getting involved in that. As we close, what are you in need of now as we head into the winter? Each week you tell us that you're in need of something up there at the shelter, because sometimes people want to help out animal causes, but they live in a situation where they can't adopt a pet. They rent, or maybe their yard's not big enough, or maybe they have too many animals, like in your case, Hannah. They have too many already. What can people do to help out? What are you in need of?
Yes, so of course we need donations. I know that we could always use some puppy pads, some paper towels, some trash bags, some cleaning supplies, stuff like that. But I know that we could use some gloves and stuff too. Blankets and sheets and towels are always accepted. We absolutely always need those. But if you can't donate or if you can't adopt, of course, we always love having volunteers to come out. We have plenty of different areas for people to help volunteer in. So come on out and help us get everybody adopted.
All right. Hannah, as always, a pleasure to have you on the show. We'll talk again next week. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks, Hannah. And somebody go and adopt Cash.
Yes.
Okay.
And we got the picture posted, as always, Dave Allen Radio on Facebook and at the Dave Allen Show on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. Cash is 2 years old, neutered, microchipped, vaccinated. He was a surrender due to landlord issues. Apparently, he was adopted from the shelter, and there was some sort of a landlord issue, so they had to bring him back. Prefers female dogs, loves to run and play, and to people watch. Who doesn't love to people watch?
Exactly. Look, this sounds like the perfect pet.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, think about that. And if you got some room over in the household, especially some good backyard room for him to roam around and so on, go get Cash. Go get him.
Absolutely. And, I mean, keep in mind, though, you're going to have a little room for him. And as Hannah said, he is an escape artist. So, and please, do not get a dog if you're going to keep it chained up.
Very true.
Because that is absolutely the worst thing in the world. If you can't, if you know going in that this dog is going to live its life chained out back, then don't get the dog, because that's one of my pet peeves. Do not get the dog. But if you got enough room and you got the room for him to be able to run, and you can kind of keep him in safely without chaining him up, make sure you do. Cash is his name. Again, picture posted on my social media, so go check it out. Lots of energy. The young dog.
And a great name.
Cash.
Cash. Come here, Cash.
I like it.
I need more cash.
I need more cash in my life. All right, we're going to take a break. By the way, I want to let you know that the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by General Hardware and Lumber of Winfield. Come check out their new contractor showroom, lumber yard, and more. They deliver service and quality right to your door. Don't buy until you get a quote from General Hardware and Lumber of Winfield. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Dr. Casey Sachs from BridgeValley is here. We've got Rod Blackstone, the Toastmaster, coming up a little bit later on, and Pat Simon from WOWK-TV 13, my guest host today. And we get to play 10 questions and learn more about Pat Simon. Are you sure you want to take that jacket off? Because it's like 38 degrees in here right now.
I'm ready to go. I love the cold weather.
You're a military guy, though. You've been through everything.
Sure.
We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. We're back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses have been creating jobs in West Virginia since 1997.
Get ready to make the holidays bright this year in a brand new Ford with your name on it. Drive on down to the Thornhill Motor Mile during the Ford Black Friday Sell-A-Thon and tag yours at Thornhill Ford Lincoln. Slide into the driver's seat of a cutting-edge Ford SUV or new F-150 truck and feel the power of innovation at your fingertips. Be winter ready and gift-giving in style. We'll even wrap it up with a big red bow if you want. Hey, it's Sydney inviting you to come explore all that Ford has to offer with great options for your holiday travels and offers that will keep you smiling well into the new year. This ought to make your season bright. Click or come by. Visit us online at thornhillford.net and on the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 Chapmanville. Visit Thornhill for all details.
Brace yourself for the ultimate holiday deal with Consumer Cellular. Snag an incredible 50% off the Iris Flip when you buy before December 17th, making it only $34.50. The Iris Flip is all the phone and camera you need with a user-friendly design, the perfect flip phone companion. Plus, you'll get nationwide coverage and always free activation. Score 50% off when you use promo code RADIO50. Head over to consumercellular.com and use promo code RADIO50 during checkout to score this deal.
Coming up on Metro News Hotline.
On the Friday show, Pat Strader is back with Beer Friday. We'll play a little buy sell. Aristotle Jones will be by with Sounds Good West Virginia and Brad Howe. We'll touch on WVU at the College Cup, hoops and football. Plus, we'll have your text in or out and the question of the day.
Metro News Hotline with Dave Weekly. Weekday afternoons from 3 till 6 at WVMetroNews.com and on this Metro News station.
It is 9:20. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly. Hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Brightway, the Mays agency of Tays Valley. Buying auto insurance can be complicated at times. That's why you need a local person to look out for you. At Brightway, the Mays agency, they can customize your policies with coverages you need and want. Call John and Sherry Mays today, 304-814-2509, or visit BrightwayMays.com. Pat Simon from WOWK-TV 13 is with us this morning.
Yes, sir. Present and accounted for.
Hanging in there this morning. Now, we got Dr. Casey Sachs from BridgeValley. We're going to go to her in just a couple of moments. But before we do that, you guys, there's so many people in the Kanawha Valley. They're doing good things for holiday season. And where do you have my friend Amanda today?
She is at Incovo, which is right next door to our studios, right there off Courier Street, downtown Charleston. And she's out there, bright-eyed, bushy tail, big smile on her face, as always, collecting toys for Tots today.
All right. And again, that's just one of the many folks that are doing some great things here in the holiday season. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Let's go to Dr. Casey Sachs from BridgeValley. Dr. Sachs, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm wonderful. How are you today?
I am fine. I've got Pat Simon here. I don't know whether you know Pat or not, but now you do. Pat Simon from WOWK-TV 13 is my guest host, sitting in the seat that was formerly occupied by you about a month or so ago.
Oh, Pat, I've heard already you're not as cute as I am.
There's a lot of truth. There's a lot of truth to that. That's a given.
Yeah.
Wonderful to make a new friend. Thank you for having me this morning.
Absolutely. Love your energy, too.
Oh, she's got it.
She's a spark plug.
She's got the energy. I'll say that about her. Dr. Sachs, what's going on out at BridgeValley? You got so many things going on. Where do we start this morning?
We do. We have so many things going on. I think the thing that I am focused my morning on is we are in the pre-award stage of a big $3 million Department of Energy grant for an industrialized assessment center to help small and medium-sized manufacturers right here in the Valley.
So how did this all come about?
Well, like so many awards, we really do pay a lot of attention to what's going on at grants.gov, and my team has been wonderful at saying, hey, we should apply for that. It's a good fit for something we have going on at the college. So one of our best programs is Advanced Manufacturing Technology. We see students graduate from that program and make, on average, $87,000 with a 2-year associate's degree. It's a terrific program, and so anything we can do to help get more students into it and more support for it, that's something we're interested in.
That's pretty incredible. What kind of careers are we talking about with that?
So that's a great question. When you think about advanced manufacturing technology, it's not quite as intuitive as nursing.
Yeah.
The people who go into AMT a lot in this area work at Gestamp, work at Toyota, work at Green Power Motor. Nucor is hiring people out of that program. So it's manufacturing, and it's really putting things together. At Toyota, if you go on that particular site and go look at that tour, it's all of the automatic transmissions that they create in North America are right here in West Virginia.
I love the connection. I love that synthesis between the education community and those companies out there. That is so important, especially in this day and age, right?
It absolutely is. It's one of the big areas of focus here at BridgeValley, that we don't have a single program on campus that's not connected to industry somewhere in the community and a real workforce need right here in the Valley.
You know, last night, the gubernatorial debate, 3 of the 4 leading candidates were in that last night. I'm not going to ask you to comment on that specifically, but one thing that I thought that they all 3 mentioned at one point or another is the need for more programs like this. And that all 3 of those had said at one point or another, Dr. Sachs, that they were all on board on this. And I think that's very important that we have those under our Capitol Dome, no matter who the governor is or who's in the legislature or whatever, that they realize that how important that these type programs are, not only for the West Virginians that are here, Dr. Sachs, but also to get people to come here and stay here.
Yes, that's so true, that having educational opportunities is incredibly important, and we have some wonderful higher education institutions here in West Virginia, and I'm proud to say that BridgeValley is one of them.
I got to tell you, being a veteran from the military, and when these veterans, the active duty people come off of active duty and they're looking to make that transition right into civilian life, what do you folks do out there to help them out?
We've actually been recognized as a Gold Star institution. It's a recognition that colleges and universities can earn by providing extra support to veteran students. And so it's everything from dedicated advising, a real reach out to make sure people are getting the support that they need. On 2 of our 3 buildings, we have dedicated lounges for veteran students. And so it's just a dedicated space to make sure, sort of like the USO, but at college.
Good way to put it.
Yeah, we really want to make sure that our veteran students recognize how much we appreciate them and want them here on campus.
And understand the skill set, too, because, they don't just go out and fight wars. I mean, there's a lot of leadership capabilities, a lot of experience that they have that carries into the business world automatically. They're your leaders, and a lot of these businesses get a lot of the templates for their plans from the military.
For sure, that's for sure true. And depending on your MOS, we can bring in credit from the time that you spent in the military. So it's worth having that conversation also.
And Dr. Sachs, again, we're talking with Dr. Casey Sachs from BridgeValley. Earlier in the week, I had on Morgan Tenney from the Putnam County Development Authority talking about some programs that they are offering with this FAME program here in the Kanawha Valley. And I know BridgeValley is a big, big part of that. And again, you talked about the money, and I hate to make it all about the money, but people that know me know I'm the ultimate capitalist. It is sometimes all about the money. And when you're a younger person, and these programs are open to anybody, by the way, but the program that we talked about, I'm going to focus now on the younger. I mean, I don't know about you, but making 60, 70 grand a year at 21, 22 years old without student debt, that's pretty dang cool. Yeah.
It is. The West Virginia FAME program, I love that Morgan has partnered with us on this. She has been a tremendous asset. FAME is the Federation for Advanced Manufacturing Education. BridgeValley brought it into the Valley a few years ago, and it's really taken off with Morgan's partnership, because now the Putnam County Development Authority is helping recruit students directly into the program. And so what FAME does is it brings manufacturers in to the college, and they give students a work-based learning experience. So they pay students wages. They go work at Toyota 3 days a week, and then they come to BridgeValley 2 days a week to do their associate's degree.
So it's like OJT, on-the-job training.
It is.
Yeah.
It's exactly on-the-job training.
And basically, in most cases, once they wrap up the training, it's like, congratulations, here's your certificate, now go to work.
You're hired.
Go across the hall and go to work.
Look, when we were growing up and going through college, that was the hardest thing. I heard Chris talking about this on Metro News this morning. That was the hardest thing. Like, it was hard to find a job back then. But these days, there are so many opportunities like this to take advantage of, right?
There are. I mean, another program we do it for is in nursing. WVU Medicine has come in and created the Aspiring Nurse Program, and they've committed $1.5 million a year to pay students to go to school. They need nurses so bad.
Yeah, actually. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Dr. Sachs, because you've always got a lot of exciting things that are going on out at BridgeValley. And again, where can people learn more about any of the things you talked about today?
BridgeValley.edu. We'd love to have you. Come on out to campus.
All right. And actually, I'm going to put you on the spot, Dr. Sachs, because we're friends. I can do that. Pat Simon and I, my co-host, Pat and I were talking before the show about, and I know you guys are big on veterans out there. Pat, why don't you give her your idea, and we'll just make her commit to it on the air.
There we go. I love doing that, too. We're always looking for solutions to issues. And you have a number of organizations that veterans belong to, Veterans of Foreign Wars, American Legion, and so on. Where I came from last, I was in South Texas, and there was this group that got together every week at the local community college. Group of veterans came together from not only just camaraderie, but also to learn more, to be educated about the things that are happening with veterans through the VA and so on. Politicians would show up, our government leaders and so on, to tell us the latest and greatest of what's happening and how it impacts veterans. Is that something that you folks would be open to have kind of, whether it's a weekly, bi-weekly, what have you, a meeting area for veterans and their families as well, because they need to be in on the information sharing as well? Would that be something you'd be open to?
Yeah, we actually host lots of outside groups on campus. People rent space from us all the time, use space from us all the time. The rules kind of depend on if students are involved or not, or if a staff sponsor is involved or not. But I would love to talk to you about it, Pat.
We'll do it.
That's my phone number.
Thank you, Dave.
There you
Making it happen.
One other quick thing. I promise I'll let you go, Doctor. Somebody texted the show and said, given the need for teachers, does BridgeValley, is there a time at BridgeValley may offer a teacher's degree out there? Is that something maybe could be on the radar, or possibly at some point?
So new degrees are always on our radar, and we design them based on what industry is willing to hire for. Mm-hmm. So if our local area school districts were willing to hire people with associate's degrees to teach, then it would make a lot of sense for us to open a degree program. Right now we have some associate's degree programs that are more geared towards elementary education, but they're very, very much about transfer to Marshall and WVU from those programs so that students can complete their bachelor's degrees, because that's what's currently required to work in the field.
All right, Dr. Sachs, I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot. We'll talk soon.
Thank you for having me.
Dr. Casey Sachs again for BridgeValley. It's 9:31. Our phone calls to the show, a service of Biggly Piggly Wiggly. When shopping at your Biggly Piggly Wiggly, be sure to join their loyalty program. You can save big at the gas pumps and throughout the store with their electronic coupons and free gifts on Fridays just for stopping by from farm to table. Biggly Piggly Wiggly, the best kept secret in Charleston. Texting services provided by Fruth Pharmacy. Check out the Fruth Pharmacy gift guide for great deals this holiday season. Find gifts under $10, super savers, hot buys, brand new products for the holidays. Find gift sets for men and women, toys for the tots, cozy throws, quilts, and more. Shop locally. Shop Fruth Pharmacy. Visit in-store, online, or by phone and try their curbside pickup service. Fruth's been your hometown pharmacy for 71 years. The Toastmaster, Rod Blackstone from the Dirty Birds, is here. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Okay. There's Rod.
I'm doing fine. Pat Simon. Do you know Pat Simon?
Hey, how you doing?
Good to see you. Okay, I figured we were going to go. I'd be coming out of a break, but okay.
Oh, no,
I guess I'd
man.
get my microphone ready.
The show goes on.
Your information is far too important. I don't know what's the deal with the microphone here. You may have to hold it. It's not.
Okay, that's all right. I can do that.
You're good.
Just like the olden days in radio.
Go back to your lounge singing days when you're in Vegas. So I asked you to come in there this morning because, as you know, the Salango Law Light the Night continues over at Gomart Ballpark, and it's actually going on through the weekend, through the holiday season. Actually, thanks V100 night. Is that right?
V100. It's the 21st.
It's 21st. I thought it was tonight.
2 weeks from tonight.
Ah, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, but we're going to make it our night tonight anyway. We're just going to take it over.
Well, okay. Anybody can take it over. The lottery's going to be there tonight.
Okay. Well, we got our good friends with the lottery. How has it been so far, Rod, out there with?
Well, we're estimating that about 40,000 people have already come through since it opened on November 17th. Now, that also includes some nights where the attendance was pretty low, which included opening night whenever it was raining and cold. Rain is the bane of this. I mean, we haven't had snow yet. And I have a feeling that a lot of people have gone through it to be first time will want to come back and see it in the snow too whenever that happens.
And we'll get it at some point.
Oh yeah, at some point it's every night between now and January through January 1st. So even New Year's Day evening you get to sort of close it out with us, ring in the new year and close out the Salango Law, Dirty Birds, Light the Night. Presented by Gomart.
And what an experience, too, to bring the family to check out all of these lights. How many lights are we talking?
Over 2 million. I mean,
wow.
I don't think I keep joking with kids as they're leaving. If I'm at the gate, I'm saying, okay, so is it your responsibility to count the lights? Or sometimes joking with somebody who was wearing lights. I'm sorry, you cannot leave. That'll leave us with 1,999,900, et cetera.
Yeah.
But it's been really remarkable. And Andy Shea's vision for it, after he saw something similar in Florence, Kentucky last year, is what really inspired it. And he came back and he said, we need to do this.
Well, it's incredible. When I was in Huntsville, Alabama, the Trash Pandas, their team had something similar to this when they just did the startup and so on. And I was like, this is going to really take off nationwide. I'm just so proud to see you guys taking it on and giving that to the community the way that you're doing. But trying something from a place that's different and bringing it here and making it a tradition.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we did that with Festival a long time ago whenever we saw what was happening in the other Charleston with their Spoleto Festival. So, yeah, there are a lot of reasons, a lot of ways that people can say and have an impact on their community by saying, hey, I saw this in this place. Can we do that here? That's how the car show really got.
I mean, there's really no new ideas per se. I mean, it
is pretty limited, isn't it?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what you do. Again, we had Rod Blackstone here talking about Light the Night. Now, I had the mayor on earlier this week on Mayor Monday, and she said there at that time, Rod, that would have been Monday, there were 35 different states had come to this thing. 30.
That's about right.
That's what they know of. I mean, That's incredible. 35 different states for the first couple of weeks of the first year of this event.
And that's for online sales only because the crowds have been so big. We don't want to slow down the lines by having the ticket taker or the ticket sellers in the box office saying, "Oh, so what's your zip code? Can we register you?" I mean, that'd be a great way to be able to find it out. But I've been on the gate a few times, been in the ticket office once, and so I know that there are people that are coming from a lot of different places. So the online orders that we can track where they're buying the tickets from. That's what that means.
Well, that also adds to the allure. We're talking about making kind of Charleston one more thing that makes Charleston kind of a vacation destination, if you will. I've got family that just came in here. A lot of families come over here to visit during the holidays and so on. Hey, what can we do? What can we do? This is one more of those things to do.
Yeah, when I was in the mayor's office, we figured June was the big time to be here because you had festival going on. You'd be leading into the July 4th weekend. you'd have a bike. There was a biker thing that happened. Pride happens at that point. I think there was a lineman rodeo years ago. So June was the big time to be in Charleston, and then October with Festival Fall and some of the other things that were going on. Now it's also December.
Yeah,
and November,
well,
and December
especially. And the whole concept behind any successful city that does this sort of thing, Rod, as you well know, and Pat, and all your travels, you know too, is having things like this year round.
Yes.
And having and just think, well, March is exciting, but so is October, in these cities. And that's kind of what we're going through. One, I want to kind of bring this up, and I want to tread on this lightly because I got several texts here about it. Explain the pricing, because I have had some text, Rod, to the show where people have said it's a little expensive. I mean, can you address that in any way?
Well, compared to what?
Well, I mean, what they're saying.
That's the question.
What people have said, and by the way, the first text I got said, "Light the Night is awesome, must see for everyone. Also great to hear Rod on the program this morning. Thanks." Signed, Rod.
Wait, what?
How'd you do that? But anyway, no. I mean, there have been people that have said, well, that for a family of 4 or 5, it's kind of expensive. Is there something maybe that we could do? I don't know what you do because it's going to cost for people to come in, but I don't know what kind of solution there is to that.
Well, and here's the challenge, and this is one of the things I've tried to tell people whenever they ask that question. Oh, why can't it be free? Well, if only we could get 2 million lights produced, arranged, programmed for free. I mean, I just learned the other night how much the Christmas tree in the middle costs, and then plus that was a cost to program it, for instance. So the installation costs money. The lights cost a lot. This is a significant investment by Andy Shea and the folks that he's working with to bring this here. And it would be nice if sponsors would cover the entire cost of it so we could have free. But that's unfortunately not going to be a reality. And with 2 million lights and all that went into it, 8 weeks of labor effectively going into producing what you saw there. So it'd be nice if it could be free. It'd be nice if there was some billionaire out there that said, hey, here, let me give you all the money that you want to do that.
Rod, you never know, because when they see this for the first time, they see how successful it is. You may have more sponsors coming in next year.
And
I
suspect you will.
And I think
offer some discounts and that kind of thing.
And I think I have a text here that somebody said, well, we're not asking for free, maybe just some sort of family pricing, maybe a group pricing. Maybe it's something we can look at.
Well, we do have group pricing. In fact, so the best time, if you want to go when it's the least expensive, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, or $9 for adults, $7 for kids, and as opposed to 12 and 10, which is the weekends and holiday rate. But what we do is we use the youth pricing for the groups for those nights too. So, for instance, if folks from my church wanted to come and bring people across the spectrum to come on Monday night, they get the $7 discount for the group.
Okay.
And if you order your skating tickets early, you also get a $5 price for a group on that, as opposed to the regular $8 if you show up and want to do it. So there are ways to be able to save some money on it. But yeah, unfortunately, it does cost a lot of money. I think you're absolutely right about the sponsors. I got that with the lottery. The lottery is one of mine for the baseball season, and they were all in. They thought this is going to be great. So sight unseen, they decided to become a sponsor of it, and you can play a lottery game by doing a little thing with a QR code in the maze that they're sponsoring, for instance. But yeah, I think that will grow in the future and probably be able to have some evenings that do that. I would encourage also, by the way, people get their tickets online.
Yes, please.
Because I've been in the box office, I've been at the gate to see how long the lines are, especially on weekend nights that are like tonight will be. Kind of cool, but pretty, no rain, and maybe cool and crisp. Those are the nights that are really getting people out. We'll probably have 5,000 more people come through here, and we've already had about 40,000. So it's pretty exciting. But then there are other nights that are going to be a little less. If it's a little cool on the weeknight, smaller crowds, easier to get tickets, and easier to go ice skating and not have a huge line to have to put up with the Ferris wheel. Now the other things that we're having around there, like the Ferris wheel, like the big slide, like the little train that runs most of the time. Sometimes we've had some malfunctions on that, unfortunately.
Just like real trains.
We're not doing this completely from scratch, but there's some growing pains that go along with doing this the first time.
That's cool to have kind of this winter wonderland connection of different kinds of things. So the lights to be a part of other things around there for the entire family. Being a father too. Now my kid is 32. By the way, Zach's birthday is today. By the way, but
happy
birthday,
Zach!
There we go. Thanks. And families are looking for stuff like this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That wholesome, natural thing. Where can I bring my kids to you see the lights and they're illuminating like that. It's like an experience. You're building those experiences. This is such a cool thing.
No, it really is. It's a great thing for our community. I'm glad Andy saw it. I'm glad he was willing to make the investment, because that's really what it was. So that's one of the things. I don't want to get too defensive about the pricing, but it does cost money to do this. Unfortunately, it's going to cost money to take it down too. But it would be great to be able to do it as inexpensively as possible. And I really feel for the folks from the poorer communities around here and what they can do. But it might be that they can get other folks to, hey, I want to buy your tickets. We've had that happen. Yeah. In fact, some of the people from my church are saying, hey, I want to buy some tickets for some of the people that don't make as much money can come in too.
All right. Well, it's going to continue throughout the holiday season.
Every night through January 1st. That includes Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve and Christmas Day. So,
okay. All right, Rod, I appreciate you being here, man. Thanks a lot.
And just plant this seed.
Yes.
Just like Christmas is December 25th, opening day will be April 25th for the baseball team.
Here we go.
I'm all right. And we have a new manager. Ready. Give me 30 seconds. We have a new manager.
PJ Phillips has won everywhere he's managed. Great. 6 seasons as a manager. His teams have made the playoffs in 5 of those seasons. He won the league championship in his first season as the manager of the Lexington Legends in 2021, unfortunately beating us in the playoffs. But PJ is a proven winner. He knows how to put a team together in independent baseball, and we're just excited to have him here.
And you'll be behind home plate?
I'll be back behind home plate, and unlike when PJ was in the visitors' dugout, I'll be cheering for him every day.
Yeah, but you're on his side this time.
Exactly.
Rod, I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks for the chance to talk about it. See you all at the ballpark.
All right, Rod Blackstone. It's 18 minutes away from 10. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses are small businesses with big impact, including Generations Physical Therapy and Snap Fitness.
Get ready to make the holidays bright this year in a brand new Ford with your name on it. Drive on down to the Thornhill Motor Mile during the Ford Black Friday Sell-A-Thon and tag yours at Thornhill Ford Lincoln. Slide into the driver's seat of a cutting-edge Ford SUV or new F-150 truck and feel the power of innovation at your fingertips. Be winter ready and gift-giving in style. We'll even wrap it up with a big red bow if you want. Hey, it's Sydney inviting you to come explore all that Ford has to offer with great options for your holiday travels and offers that will keep you smiling well into the new year. This ought to make your season bright. Click or come by. Visit us online at thornhillford.net and on the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 Chapmanville. Visit Thornhill for all details.
At Stike Wealth Enhancement Group, we believe a better investment experience for investors begins with independent, personalized advice. Hi, I'm Jim Goolsby, and I'm happy to be a part of Stike Wealth Enhancement Group. If you're considering retirement or would like to put a plan in place for your current and future investment needs, reach out to us at Stike Wealth Enhancement Group, 304-443-4247 or jgoolsby@stikewealth.com.
Securities and advisory service offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
The 7-year celebration continues in Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Hurricane. Walker is 7 years strong, and the deals, well, they just keep getting better. If a new truck is what you need, Gene and Ryan have the deal that you've been waiting for. You can find a new 2023 Ram 1500 Crew Cab starting at just $39,999. Yeah, that's right, a new full-size truck for under $40,000. Now, if you're thinking more along the lines of a pre-owned truck, don't worry, because Walker has that too. As a matter of fact, they're stocked deeper than they've been in years, and all of their pre-owned vehicles are marked down and ready to move. You know you're going to find the best deal possible at Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram because Gene and Ryan built their business the old-fashioned way by making friends. There are no gimmicks or games at Walker, just honest, fair deals. So find the truck that you've been looking for and make that short 20-minute drive from Charleston or Huntington to Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, just off the Hurricane exit of I-64. Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, making friends one deal at a time.
9:45, Dave Allen Show and 580 Live, brought to you part by Pinnacle Consultants, the only accredited commercial lab in the state for asbestos and mold. Asbestos was banned in some building products, but it isn't banned for all products in the U.S. Do not expose your family or workers to asbestos, mold, or lead paint. Get with Pinnacle Consultants. They offer real estate and environmental assessments for hazardous materials and air quality. Visit pinnaclecorp.net because what you don't know can hurt you. Pat Simon from WOWK TV 13 is my guest host this morning. Pat, tell us about Pat Simon. Where you originally? Where was home for you growing up? Where are you from?
I grew up in Lafayette, Louisiana. That's in the heart of Cajun country down there in southwest Louisiana. And growing up there, you learn so many different ways to cook. You know, we got the gumbos and the jambalayas and those kinds of things. So I learned that from my mom and my grandma, how to cook a good gumbo. But
what is the secret to a good gumbo? Give me a little bit.
Don't burn the roux. Okay, so you get the flour and the oil that you're constantly
got that, Ryan?
stirring.
Don't burn the roux.
Don't burn the roux. You're constantly stirring that base, but you can't burn. I've seen so many people just burn it, and you just got to stay on it and stir. So, growing up in South Louisiana, it was major oil, just like here is coal, major oil and gas down there, and we went through a bust in the 1980s. So it was really tough on a lot of the folks down there, but they figured a way to turn it around. Tourism was a big draw and still is. Mm-hmm. And so I got a chance to kind of meet so many different people. I went to school at LSU, graduated ROTC, and Ronald Reagan was our commencement speaker back in 1990. So that's when I was commissioned as a second lieutenant, and I stayed.
Thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you very much. I stayed in the National Guard. I ended up in the reserve. My last 5 years, I was an instructor at Command General Staff Officer College. So we taught majors how to be our future leaders out there and great staff officers. And I did a little combat tour out there in Iraq in 2009. I can tell you a story, too, about that. But it was a great experience in the military, and I was doing radio and television as well. So I had kind of a dual career going on, part military and most of it was radio back in '84 that I started out, and I eventually got into television, and here I am today.
Was this something that you wanted to do as a kid? Did you think I want to be in television?
It's funny you ask that. When people say that, it's like back in the day, we used to have these stereo systems where you can actually plug in a microphone and you can hear yourself, kind of like a Mr. Microphone that eventually...
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later. Ryan, I'll explain that to you after the show.
And so I just took to that. And so I started talking on the microphone, and pretty soon we were having like these little events over at my house. And here I am on the microphone, just like introducing these little acts or whatever, people singing or whatever. The kids. It was kids. I was like 8. And I said, hey,
it's like the most Little Rascals thing ever. Didn't I see an episode of Little Rascals?
What's the number to 911? And so I said I could do this, I think. And so from then on, I thought, I was very curious. So I thought, okay, I like this idea of talking on the radio and getting into television and telling stories. And I'm very curious about that. And then being a veteran, that's my shtick right now. I love telling veterans stories about their families as well, to preserve legacies. And I think that's so important for our generations growing up. And they have to understand the service and sacrifices that so many people made.
What areas have you worked in? I always love to ask television, and not so much radio, but television people. I like to say, take it from the top, every television market you've worked in.
Oh, boy. So I actually...
One? Count them down.
So Lafayette, Louisiana, I actually worked overnights at a 50s, 60s, 70s solid gold radio station. It was an AM station. I worked 2 to 6 a.m. So Lafayette to Baton Rouge, to Asheville, North Carolina, to Shreveport, Louisiana, to Syracuse, New York, West Virginia, so Charleston, West Virginia in 2016, and then I went down to Huntsville, Alabama, then South Texas, Corpus Christi. I just came from there, and then I got a call from Sean Banks, our general manager, and said, hey, you want to come back up here to West Virginia? I said, I love the people. I love the area there, so he gave me an opportunity, and I so appreciate it. So back here to West Virginia a second time.
It's amazing to me, and I hear this story a lot about people that come to West Virginia that aren't from here, and love it and want to stick around. I mean, I'll give you an example from your own station, Brian Hughes, a frequent guest of this show. You look at somebody on the other stations, they're that way as well. We have them in our building here. Rob, our guy that does our morning show on KWS, was here, left, but wanted to come back to West Virginia. If we could just get West Virginians to want to be in West Virginia, we'd be okay. But there's some reason people from outside here, when they come here, they have a tendency to like it.
Well, and it's one of the best kept secrets, I think, in all of this country. In all of my travels here, I say West Virginia. Well, what's there to do in West Virginia? Just go there. I promise you, if you make it through the fall and the wintertime, you're going to fall in love with this place. and during the summertime, it's not as hot. I promise you. I just came from South Texas.
Oh, yeah. We got nothing.
It was 115 degrees out there during the summertime and no rain for the longest period of time. Over here, it's just perfect. It's perfect. The sights, the sounds, the air, it's just so beautiful. But the people make it the best.
Text says, Pat does not have the Louisiana drawl. How did you lose it?
In college.
Yeah.
So I had a professor, and I did have that. Miss Shy, I talked like this,
You had the whole deal?
I had the whole deal. And I had a professor that said, "Hey, look, if you really want to do this, I can work with you on your dialect and so on." So it's not like you're trying to get away from something like that, because I'm very proud of that heritage, that Cajun heritage. Very proud people, and in a lot of points, the people down in South Louisiana remind me of the kind people here, and the humble people here in West Virginia as well. But so he taught me how, going through a process to have more of a regional accent, and then just, over time, Dave, doing this job over and over and over again, it just becomes you, whoever you are.
Yeah. I don't know. I've had people that have told me that, I don't necessarily have the Appalachian accent, but then from times it comes out. It comes out a whole lot, especially if I get excited or upset or something like that. It really comes out. All right. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Meeks Realty Group. Discover the unrivaled expertise of Meeks, your ultimate partners in all things real estate, whether it's dream home or that ideal commercial space. Meeks has you covered. Contact Rich the Realtor, 304-932-7488. Let Rich and the team guide you on your real estate journey. Take a look at their listings at Meeks.us. Pat Simon from WOWK-TV 13 is here. Hey, you get to play 10 questions.
Oh, boy.
It's up next right after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you a physical therapy assistant and looking for an opportunity in orthopedics, wellness, and athletic care? If so, Generations Physical Therapy is offering flexible work hours and an upbeat atmosphere. With 7 convenient locations, Generations may have a job designed for you. Visit generationspt.com.
Get ready to make the holidays bright this year in a brand new Ford with your name on it. Drive on down to the Thornhill Motor Mile during the Ford Black Friday Sell-A-Thon and tag yours at Thornhill Ford Lincoln. Slide into the driver's seat of a cutting-edge Ford SUV or new F-150 truck and feel the power of innovation at your fingertips. Be winter ready and gift giving in style. We'll even wrap it up with a big red bow if you want. Hey, it's Sydney inviting you to come explore all that Ford has to offer with great options for your holiday travels and offers that will keep you smiling well into the new year. This ought to make your season bright. If you're come by, visit us online at thornhillford.net and on the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 Chapmanville. Visit Thornhill for all details.
Elevators. You take them for granted until they let you down. If you're working to maintain a stellar reputation, then let me introduce you to DC Elevator. We want to work with you to make sure your people get where they are going. What could be better than a new company coming to the area and already having 45 years of experience? DC Elevator is bringing a new culture of elevator maintenance, repairs, modernization, and installation to West Virginia. Don't leave your people hanging. For a free consultation, call DC Elevator at 304-345-7222.
Brace yourself for the ultimate holiday deal with Consumer Cellular. Snag an incredible 50% off the Iris Flip when you buy before December 17th, making it only $34.50. The Iris Flip is all the phone and camera you need with a user-friendly design, the perfect flip phone companion. Plus, you'll get nationwide coverage and always free activation. Score 50% off when you use promo code RADIO50. Head over to consumercellular.com and use promo code RADIO50 during checkout to score this deal.
Get the latest local news and weather, live high school sports, and your favorite talk shows like 580 Live and Ask the Expert right from your smartphone with the 580 WCHS app. Go to Google Play or the App Store now and search for WCHS. Or check out WCHSnetwork.com and download the app today. Then you'll have the news and information you need to connect to our community. The WCHS app. The WCHS app. Now available at WCHSnetwork.com.
West Virginia Enriched in collaboration with Huntington invites you to witness the transformative power of Special Olympics. Take a few minutes to be inspired and join the collective effort in making a difference. It's not just a story, it's a movement of hope, inclusiveness, and triumph, reminding us all that individuals deserve a chance to shine. And West Virginia and beyond, Huntington is truly making a difference. Right here at home, see a video highlighting the Special Olympics at Facebook.com/580 WCHS. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Husson's. This month at your favorite Husson's. Get a special holiday pack, large 18-inch pepperoni pizza, 10 breadsticks, 12 hot wings, and a 2-liter Pepsi, only $33.99. Find your local Husson's at Husson'sPizza.com. All right, Pat Simon, time to play 10 questions, 10 totally at random questions. Please verify you've not seen the questions.
I have not.
These questions were formulated in a lab at an undisclosed location somewhere near Bancroft, West Virginia. To those of you listening at home, please do not try this at home. Both Pat and I are highly trained professionals, and as always, no wagering. Pat, are you ready?
I think so.
That wasn't one of the questions. I'm just saying, all right,
That's
here we go.
one.
What was the name of your first pet you remember having as a kid?
Fluffy.
At the cookout, burgers or hot dogs?
Burgers.
Beach or mountains?
Both.
What's in your right pants pocket?
My keys.
Your favorite month?
October.
Who's your all-time favorite athlete?
Wow. Why would you... if I said Tom Brady...
All right. It's
I'm a Patriots guy. All right.
Okay. All right. I'm not a Saints guy. You know what I mean?
Not really. Well, Saints, I will cheer for the Saints, but I'm a Patriots guy.
Okay.
That's a schoolyard playground kind of thing. Everybody had to choose a team, and I was left with the Patriots.
That's all right. Name a movie you can actually practically quote every line from.
A Few Good Men.
Okay. Why is Amanda Barron so damn perky?
Well, you'll have to ask her.
That's a running joke, by the way. Please don't ever put this on my pizza.
Anchovies.
The one place you visited and could go back to over and over again and never get tired of it.
Anywhere on the beach in Florida.
You've completed 10 questions.
Thank you.
How cool was that?
I think it's great. And by the way, about Amanda, there's no better person to work with.
Lord.
You know what I'm talking about. I mean, she is the real deal, right? Yeah. And she's so professional, and she's so fun to be around. I just feel so lucky every day to show up and kind of. And she didn't even pay me for this.
No.
But she's that kind of person. She's the kind of person, a good friend.
I've known Amanda for like 20 years or something like that, and she and I go back and forth on sports all the time. You know, she being a Cleveland fan, and we go back. And anytime I see anything that downs the Browns, I have to send it to her. But nonetheless, do you have any idols in this business, Pat? Anybody that you on the maybe network level or even local level that you really looked up to and said, I'd like to emulate their career. I'd like to be more like that person. Anybody?
I don't know if there was anybody like that. I do miss the days gone by in radio. I'm one of those guys, like the Paul Harveys, right?
Yeah,
the
really.
Stories that Paul Harvey, that news and comment, Paul Harvey, good day. You know, the stories that he told, and, you know, he embellished a little bit, okay? But there were great stories, and I wish that more people knew probably who I'm talking about, Paul Harvey, in the first place. But he's one of those guys that, you know, when he talked, you listened, and then he'd do page 2, and he would do a little commercial break or whatever about Buick or whatever it was. And I just loved his style. And I love the way that he enunciated, and I love those stories. And, you know, in radio, you bring those pictures to life, right?
That's what you do.
With words.
Give me 30 seconds or 45 seconds. What's the average day like for you? Because you do so many different things now in the world of television. What's the average day like for you before we go?
Hectic. And it begins before I even show up at work. There are so many times that, you know, because I do like telling stories. So I'll go out and shoot. I will write, I will edit the stories I tell, mostly about veterans, but I do have one coming up about Mountain Stage. Kathy Mattea is going to be featured on it. Larry Gross is going to be featured on it. It's the 40th anniversary of Mountain Stage. So just kind of hectic, just depends on what I'm doing in the morning. But then, you know, show up for work. We have an editorial meeting. We talk about the stories that we have coming up on the news, and then we just get right to it.
All right. We'll be watching, Pat.
Thank you.
All right.
And thanks for this opportunity. I had so much fun.
It was great.
Have me back.
Yeah, I will have you back.
Good.
Just not next week.
Okay.
Because next week I have filmmaker Danny Boyd who's going to be on the show.
Wow.
Next week is my guest host. Pat Simon, I appreciate you being here. Thank you to all our guests. I'm going to be sticking around because I'm doing the first segment of Talk Line with Hoppy along with Brad as we recap the gubernatorial debate in Morgantown from last night. Coming up on Monday's show, it's Mayor Monday. Winfield Mayor Randy Barrett will be on the show on Monday, plus Delegate Kathy Hess-Krause.
Go Army. Beat Navy.
All right. We'll see you in just a bit. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM 96.5 FM Charleston and 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.
I just loved his style. And I love the way that he enunciated, and I love those stories. And, you know, in radio, you bring those pictures to life, right?
That's what you do.
With words.
Give me 30 seconds or 45 seconds. What's the average day like for you? Because you do so many different things now in the world of television. What's the average day like for you before we go?
Hectic. And it begins before I even show up at work. There are so many times that, you know, because I do like telling stories. So I'll go out and shoot. I will write, I will edit the stories I tell mostly about veterans, but I do have one coming up about Mountain Stage. Kathy Mattea is going to be featured on it. Larry Gross is going to be featured on it. It's the 40th anniversary of Mountain Stage. So just kind of hectic, just depends on what I'm doing in the morning. But then, show up for work. We have an editorial meeting. We talk about the stories that we have coming up on the news, and then we just get right to it.
All right. We'll be watching, Pat.
Thank you.
All right.
And thanks for this opportunity. I had so much fun.
It was great.
Have me back.
Yeah, I will have you back.
Good.
Just not next week.
Okay.
Because next week I have filmmaker Danny Boyd who's going to be on the show.
Wow.
Next week is my guest host. Pat Simon, I appreciate you being here. Thank you to all our guests. I'm going to be sticking around because I'm doing the first segment of Talk Line with Hoppy along with Brad as we recap the gubernatorial debate in Morgantown from last night. Coming up on Monday's show, it's Mayor Monday. Winfield Mayor Randy Barrett will be on the show on Monday, plus Delegate Kathy Hess-Krause.
Go Army. Beat Navy.
All right. We'll see you in just a bit. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM 96.5 FM Charleston and 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.
Politically Georgia podcast by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution's Greg Bluestein, Bill Nygut, Tia Mitchell, and Patricia Murphy. Listen weekdays at 10 a.m. on WABE 90.1. Stream at ajc.com/podcasts.
Are you struggling to conceive? You have options, and at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group, we'll make sure you have the guidance and support you need. PREG is known for individualized fertility care that's unique to every patient. We take the time to provide a reassuring and empowering experience because we believe that you deserve nothing less. Let us help you on your journey to parenthood. Visit us at pregonline.com to learn more. Get the guidance and support you need at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group.